Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We will start with new topic, material properties, and in this topic we will see or learn how to write and interpret symbols for elements. Let's begin. All matter is made of atoms. Think of all the substances you see and touch every day. For example, plastic, wood, water vapors, water, metal, etc. Are all of these substances the same? Yes, no. All of these substances are different. Water is in liquid state, whereas water vapor is in gaseous state. Plastic is, yes, which state is plastic in? Plastic is in solid state. Wood again is in solid state and metal again is in solid state. So all the substances have different properties. They exist in different states of matter. So they are not same. So how many different substances can there be? Can you imagine? This is a question people have been asking for thousands of years. Yes, how many different substances are there? There are hundreds of different substances that exist in different states of matter. And these substances are nothing but called as elements. These substances are nothing but called as elements. There are total 118 elements present in nature. These are different few examples of different types of elements: fire, wood, metal, water. Now, all matter is made of atoms. About 2400 years ago, Greek philosophers proposed that everything on earth was made up of only four basic substances, that is air, air which is in gaseous state, water which is in liquid state, fire again which state is fire in, it is gaseous state, and earth. Everything else contained a mixture of these four substances. But as time passed, chemists came to realize that there had to be more than four basic substances. Today, chemists know that about 100 basic substances or elements. Substances are nothing but elements. Account for everything we see and touch around us. So, everything that we see and touch around us are nothing but elements. We will study what is element and what is element made up of in detail. Most often, however, these elements appear in combination with other elements to make new substances. For example, to make a new color like orange, you have to mix red and yellow. In the same way, to make a new substance, we have to mix two elements together to make a new substance. Now we will see what are elements made up of. Elements are made up of particles called as atoms. You all must have heard the word before, atoms. An atom is the smallest part of an element that can exist. Atoms are very small in size. If you could place 100 million atoms side by side, they would only stretch for about 1 centimeter. You can imagine how small atoms are. Every element has its own type of atom. There are total 118 elements present in nature, and these 118 elements have its own type of atoms. The atoms of each element are different from the atoms of every other element. For example, zinc atoms are all alike, but zinc atoms are different from copper atoms, gold atoms, and silver atoms, whereas silver atoms are all alike, But silver atoms are different from gold, zinc, and copper atoms. In this way, atoms of one element are all alike, but it will differ from atoms of different element. Now, how this periodic table what is periodic table and how elements are arranged in the periodic table. Scientists have worked to organize all the known elements of the universe into a specialized chart called the periodic table of the elements. Using chemical symbols to represent each element, the charts is used by scientists around the world. It makes no difference what country you are in or what language is spoken there. The language of chemistry is the same all over the world. So this chart of periodic table is universal. No matter where you go, the chart will be same, the symbols will be same. Now we will see how does periodic table looks like. You all can see the image given below. This is a image of periodic table. There are total 118 elements in this periodic table. Now we will come to the main subtopic, names of the element. The names of atoms and elements can be represented by abbreviated symbols which can be combined into formulas to represent molecules and compounds. We will see what are molecules and compounds further. These chemical symbols and formulas provide a quick and universal way of identifying pure substances in chemistry. For example, there are different, you all must have seen road signs, traffic rules. You all must have studied traffic rules in SST. There are different signboards on the road: stop, walk, no right turn, no U-turn. Now, why the signs are given? So that people can easily understand and read what is written. These signs are universal. In the same way, each type of atom or element can be represented by a unique chemical symbol consisting of one or two letters. Now, let's see from where these elements get their names. Elements get their names in many different ways. Like, for example, magnesium was named for the region in Greece known as Magnesia. Lithium comes from the Greek word lithos, which means stone. Neptunium was named after the planet Neptune. The element Einsteinium and fermium were named after scientists Albert Einstein and Enrico Fermi. Each element has its own unique symbol. Now we will learn how to write the symbols or how to interpret the symbol of an element. Again, I will repeat, each type of atom or element can be represented by a unique chemical symbol consisting of one or two letters. Now, when we write chemical symbol, either it is one letter or two letter. The first letter is written as a capital, and the second letter, if there is one, is written in lowercase. Examples: carbon can be represented by the symbol C, capital C. Neon can be represented by the symbol Ne. Now, neon, there are two letters when we write the symbol for neon, Ne. So the first letter will be capital and the second letter will be in lowercase, capital N, small e. The symbol for silver is AG. So A will be capital and G will be in lowercase. For some elements, the symbol is simply the first letter of its name, like hydrogen, capital H, sulfur, capital S, and carbon, capital C. Now, for all these three elements, the symbol is only one letter, so this first letter will be capital. As there is no other letter, there is no lowercase for these elements. The symbols for other elements use the first letter plus one other letter of the element's name. Notice that the first letter is capitalized but the second letter is not, as we saw in the example which were given before. Aluminium, AL, capital A, small l. Platinum, P and T. First and fourth letter is used, capital P, small t. Cadmium, first and third letter is used, capital C, small t. And zinc, first letter is capital and the second letter, as discussed earlier, is in lowercase. The origins of some symbols, however, are less obvious. The symbol for gold, AU, capital A, small u, it's very unobvious. For example, doesn't seem to have anything to do with the element's name, like G, D or GL. Rather, it is AU. The symbol refer instead to gold's name in Latin, aurum. Lead, PB, iron, Fe, and copper, Cu are a few other elements whose symbols come from Latin names. It has nothing to do with its name in English. Now we will see chemical symbols of first 20 elements of periodic table. Let's start with number 1, hydrogen, capital H. Helium, capital H, small e. Remember, first letter is always capital and the second letter is in lowercase, that is, it's not capital. Lithium, Li. Beryllium, Be, capital B, small e. Boron, capital B. Carbon, capital C. Nitrogen, capital N. Oxygen, capital O. Fluorine, capital F. Neon, again there are two letters, so first letter will be capital and the second letter will be in lowercase, capital N and small e. Next, sodium, Na. Again, sodium has Na has nothing to do with its name in English. Magnesium, Mg. First letter and third letter is used. First letter is capital and G is small. Aluminium, Al. Silicon, Si. Capital S, small I. Phosphorus, capital P. Sulfur, capital S. Chlorine, capital C, small l. Argon, capital A, small r. Potassium, K. Remember, potassium is K. Calcium, Cna, capital C, small a. So, these are the chemical symbols of the first 20 elements of periodic table, which you will often use while studying chemistry. Learning outcome. What did we learn in today's session? Atom is the smallest part of an element that can exist. Yes, atom is the smallest part of element that can exist. An element is made up of atoms, and each different type of element has different type of atom. Like for example, we saw zinc. All the zinc atoms will have all the zinc element will have same type of atoms, but the atoms of zinc will be different from atoms of gold, silver, boron, carbon. Atoms of nitrogen will be same, but atoms of nitrogen will be different from atoms of oxygen, fluorine, sodium, magnesium. In the same way, all elements have different types of atoms. They have their own unique type of atom. Second, each element has its own chemical symbol. And how to write chemical symbol? Either it is the first letter of the name, or first and third letter. In some special cases, it is first and fourth letter. The first letter is always capital and the second letter is small, that is, it is in lower case. Let us quickly revise few of the element names. First 20 element names: hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium, and calcium. Now, I want you all, after watching this video, I want you all to revise the names of first 20 elements of the periodic table and to try to write their chemical symbols, the element symbols of these first 20 elements of periodic table. Thank you.